Yeah, welcome back. So, Rajeshwari, you want to continue?
The example of the internet space, or your entire Gmail server, in which your specific email is one part of it, which is unique and as independent as somebody else's ID, and yet a representation of that entire Gmail space.
Why you are saying representation of the entire Gmail space?
When I say representation, it's a part. So the universal. So when I say that the universe, in the universal consciousness, like one aspect to look at it is a way to say that nothing is there, or to say that everything is there. But whenever we say nothing or everything, we typically have an idea of nothing and everything, because even when we say everything, the understanding of everything is only limited to whatever I have so far experienced in life, and I think that is everything. But everything is just is something which is so immeasurable, and which cannot be comprehended to contain. So that is why I'm saying that in that Gmail space, of which my email ID is just one part, is a representative of that same space in a smaller part, but it is nowhere lesser. It's no way lesser. It's like a Zoom ID of yours and a Zoom ID of mine is no way lesser, and it is equivalent to the Zoom per se, the Zoom facility per se that is available.
So all features are available for everyone, whoever is using whatsoever. Yeah.
Yes.
So Dinal and Anshu, if you can share your reflection, like you mentioned that it's nothing, universal consciousness as nothing.
I was now, hearing everyone's views. I'm thinking that maybe it's when you drop your assumptions and imaginations. So, in a way, at an individual level, have nothing, are nothing, then you can maybe get bits and pieces of something from the everything, is what I'm comprehending as of now. So, I get access to that, that pool which is already there when I drop my layers and get bits and pieces of what's already there.
Yes, yes, yes. Anshu, you want to add something? Or maybe you can.
I'm just trying to understand. So my question is, if we can say that the individual consciousness is actually nothing, then why can't we say the same thing about universal consciousness?
The individual consciousness, basically, when we say nothing, that means there is no creation that is added to it. There is no imagination that is added to it.
Yeah.
Actually, so the nothingness is about.
Yeah, that's what I understood. Yeah.
Assumption. Maybe we can again dive in this. So, any other point?
So, when we say that, like in Rajeshwari's example, I'm just trying to understand in the same way, with the same analogy, so our imaginary self that we have created is not a part of the universal consciousness, right? Like that in that case, the email is part of the universal internet server.
That's an allegorical explanation, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that is not the case here, right? Our imaginary self, is it a part of the universal consciousness or no? No.
See, the imagination is definitely not the truth. What is the definition of an imagination? Which is not truth, but imagine. Isn't it? So how can
there could be some truth in it?
There could be some truth. Some truth you're saying?
Some truth.
So here, what we need to
Yes.
understand is the conclusion. The conclusion, whatsoever the truth may be that we have explored, if we conclude that in some opinionated form, that becomes the burden
So even
for
if it
the
is a
individual.
truth.
Even if it is a truth, if it is believed, to be specific, any truth, if it is believed, then it is a burden. When it is under the inquisition, so inquisition is that particular slippery state of perception, which is always moving, never gets stagnated. Whatsoever the situation, whatsoever the circumstances, and whatsoever the experience per se. Then also, uh, if it is a conclusion that I have been bitten by a group of people, it's a thrashing experience for an individual, physically painful, consistent painful. Even then, if that individual is inquisitive about it and trying to understand the whole, despite that experience, good or bad, no conclusion, like an insult and a flattery, both are the experiences. Now, based on those experiences, if an individual concludes that means there is a blockage of the perception further to know the whole. With this fact again, that the whole cannot be unrevealed.
I have one question here. So,
Yes.
isn't the truth also changing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. So that's why anytime we're concluding it, that's all our imagination, because the one moment what is truth may change into, like,
So
next
truth is
moment
a
can be
dynamic
changing.
entity. Truth is a dynamic entity, and whatsoever is dynamic is always changing.
Yes.
I was also wondering if there is perceptive dynamism, like without the I and without the individual, wouldn't things be too random and not make sense? I don't know how to frame this question, but wouldn't it, wouldn't the dynamism not make meaning? Like,
Yep.
I
So yeah. Very meaningful question actually. But here the understanding of energy will bring some clarity. You know, when an individual is not concluding, not stagnating the perception, not concluding, that means not stagnating the perception, a lot of conserved energy is there with that individual. All the stagnations are that P3 P2 loops. When individual doesn't have that loop in life, or maybe forming and dissolving very quickly, so when that is the state of being, then that individual will have tremendous energy within herself, and with that energy it will actually bring a lot of sense for that individual. You are assuming that if it is a dynamic, there is no conclusion, I'm just going on and on with something without concluding, then so at any point in time there will be a space, there will be selections in life. Right. Yeah, Basabdi has left actually, she's getting feverish. Yeah. Yeah, what, Rajeshwari? I couldn't get. What was that word?
You said a lot of and I couldn't hear that word.
Lot
that
of
you said.
energy. So here the energy understanding is very important to understand this particular query, that if somebody is in always dynamic perception and never concluding, then it's a senseless thing, you know, it's quite equivalent to that query, that if actions are not planned, then the life is going to be actionless. You know, there's an assumption, isn't, that if the actions are never planned, then the life is going to be actionless. On the contrary,
In
it's a
fact,
very dynamic.
sometimes it can be the other way around.
Yes, yes, yes. So
Yes,
with that
yes.
tremendous sense, energy, it will bring sense for that individual. You know, so let me give you some example also. Like in case of an inquiring person eating the food, first meal of the day, with keen hunger. So a bystander, an onlooker, will see that he has picked up or she has picked up mango, and he talks about lot of choicelessness. He has chosen mango.
Your voice is
Now,
breaking.
yeah, am I audible? Am I audible? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
You're audible.
so when that mango is picked up, it's not a choice psychologically for that individual, but action wise it looks like a choice, and action wise it make all sense. For sense means the meaning of sense, what we exactly are looking forward, that the food was needed at that moment. And sorry, Nandini was waiting. Yeah, so the food was needed by that individual, and food was chosen not psychologically but physically. You see, the dynamic perception is a perceptory domain, which is in the choice stays there. Perception holds the choice. Are you able to comprehend, Deepa? When that dynamism is there, that means there is no stagnation of the choice, but definitely the selection points will be there, actions will be there, and that action will be driven by the tremendous energy of that individual. So it will definitely be a potent action.
Can you
Very
say
much
what you were
potent
saying
action.
about dynamism again? What are you trying to say? Perceptual dynamism.
Yeah. So this particular choice, what exactly we are discussing about, the choice, which is a psychological thing that we are discussing, not a physical mechanical selection. We are not discussing here about the selection, but definitely if in a shallow lookout, if we look at, then we see that, see, it's picked up by that individual, so it's definitely a choice of him. That's a superficial conclusion.
Sir,
Yes, yes, Meenu.
am I audible?
Yes, now you are clearly.
Then can we say that psychologically it is being choiceless, and
Yes,
physically we are making a selection?
making selection. Yes, yes. And
So
that
even
selection
if
also you are not
it would
attached
have
to.
been the same, like it would have there would have been no excitement or depression for that person if it was something other than mango, if he would have chosen that,
Yeah.
or anything else, whatever
But
is available.
physiologically, it should be tasty. That's what for an organism it matters.
Yeah,
You know,
so
other
anything
than
that
that, it
is,
will not be accepted. Yeah.
yeah. So like say for example, if there are 10 variety of fruits available to that individual at that point of time, it's just that that person has chosen
Your video is frozen. Anyway, we can't hear Meenu. Anyway, yeah. Anyone wants to
So
reflect?
about the perceptual dynamism in this, what exactly
Yes, yes.
is that?
So perceptory dynamism means there is no choice that is being held in the perception. So one individual is not considering anything, whatsoever the selection may be, that it is my choice psychologically. Verbally, whatsoever he is talking or doing, that's not of that much importance. But actually, psychologically, he is not attached to that particular selection. That is what is the state of choiceless. We talk about agenda less. Yeah. Minu,
And that is what is freedom.
seemingly, isn't? Because the conclusion means is confinement. Choice means a confinement. No further dynamic exists.
I want to ask, but in reality, like in practically, it will not always be that we have so many choices. I mean, say 10 or
Options,
whatever number of
options,
fruits available.
options. You are saying options. You are
Yeah,
saying or choice.
say
Options.
no. So I'm saying options. Suppose there were not so many. In fact, there was. Suppose I go to a place which does not have fruit available. Then, if I have to go and buy that, I mean, I'm just getting into a little into the logistics part of it, but I'm just trying to understand that am I not psychologically making that choice to do that? If it was available and I chose it, I can say that physically I have chosen it.
Yes. So the picking up the selection. Yes. Okay, Vijay. Take care. Take care. We understand your. You need rest. Yeah. Please. So. The picking up is the selection. Right?
Yes. So,
Now,
say for
now,
instance, I did not have that option available where I am at the moment.
what option? Multiple options. You're saying.
Yeah, I do
The
not have
multiple
a
options are not.
natural option that I mean, again, I'm saying then,
Yes,
it
you
was,
are keenly
yes,
hungry, and
yes.
you are in McDonald's, and there is
Yeah,
nothing
say,
other than McDonald's at that point in time, hypothetically.
no, not maybe McDonald's, but to a place where I could go and get something from outside. Maybe even in McDonald's, I could just go outside and get a banana. But isn't that going to be my psychological choice and not a physical choice?
Which one? Banana or
Going out and getting a banana for myself. I would have made it psychologically in my head that no, I don't want to have all this.
no? It depends
And
upon
then,
how you are doing it. It depends
okay.
upon how you are doing it. So if you
Actually, I
are,
feel it depends on what you are craving for at that moment of time. And like in case if you have a
But the
craving,
craving, that's the whole thing. That the craving can be so much at psychological level.
yes. So if you are craving for your burger and then you go and pick the banana, then also you're making a choice exclusively. I want that only, even though you are craving for the burger.
it may not be action-wise. It may be the same. Like two Shilpi
Action
one and
wise,
Shilpi
yes.
2. Action-wise, Shilpi 1 and Shilpi 2 both are going out and picking up a banana, not having burger. So Shilpi 1 is still thinking about the burger and escaping from that craving and just enforcing that I must have banana. And Shilpi 2 understands the depth of burger, not escaping, was still standing in front of burger and looking closely without escaping it, looking closely what it is that I am getting attracted to, if I am. Then finding that it is somebody's idea that is attracting me. It is not the physical entity that is attracting me. If the physical entity is attractive for me, it could have been claimed as a natural selection, natural mapping. But when I look at the burger closely, then I see just the ideas, because the wheat, potato, spices, and oil are not attractive at all. Just the combination of it, which is driven by somebody's idea. Culturally, traditionally, it got
So we
evolved
can
that
say the
way.
intention behind it.
Yes, yes. So it's a P3. Basically, I am driven by the P3. So I am sensing a P2, which is an attraction. Now there is a banana, there is a burger. Now banana is a P1. Burger is P3. It may look like a P1. It may look like a physical existence, but it is nothing but a masked physical existence of P3. So this Shilpi 2 when went out to pick up a banana, there is no attraction towards the burger at all. Just identifying a natural unmodified taste, which is not intention driven, is just picked up, and there is no attachment towards the banana either. That next time when I am hungry, I must have banana. That conclusion is also not there.
So if there is a Shilpi 3
Yes,
who is externally choosing to have, I mean, not choosing, but externally having burger
having burger. Yes,
and internally still undisturbed.
understood cannot be possible. Questioning, understanding that yes, this is not dissolved yet. So I am observing myself. I am observing. So what is actual observation? Observation is not about observing burger or observing banana. Observation basically is observation of this P2,
Sensation.
the sensation, my sensation. So if at all I am sensing a craving and I'm not escaping from it, I may, as an action, I am picking up and eating. That is Shilpi 2 only. Here, there is no Shilpi 3, Minu. It is Shilpi 2 only who
Yeah,
may have taken a bite.
I understand that, sir. But
Yes.
externally, both are doing this different actions.
Yeah, so that's what, in that observation, the actions
Yeah.
may differ. The inquiry is going on in both the for both the people, both the Shilpis, Shilpi 2 and Shilpi 3. One
So
could
the action is
dissolve the attraction.
different. Yeah. So the
Yeah.
action is different in the second case,
Yes.
but there could be either of the two actions, but the processing is the same. That I am
Inquiry.
I'm inquiring, I'm understanding.
So
In
I'm
one
not
case,
concluding my sensation. I'm not concluding. Since I'm liking it, I must have it. This conclusion is not. Though I'm having it, but I'm questioning it. I'm questioning it.
Hmm.
You know.
So just
Then
by
yeah.
observing someone's actions,
Yes.
we cannot know ever
Ever.
whether what is the state of that person sensation wise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. P1 is very minuscule of an individual. So action can wait. An impulsive action is a dangerous action. And again, like if you are attached to an action, again, the same thing, impulsive action only. Yeah, Viva ma'am, you want to reflect upon this? We had.
No, I was just wondering what you meant by impulsive action is dangerous action.
Yeah, so if we are attached to an action, whatsoever, considering that if I don't take this action, then something great disaster is going to come. that becomes an assumption, and that's an over importance given to an individual. I see everybody's video is frozen. Is it? Uh, am I audible, guys? I saw everybody's video was frozen for
Yes,
some
you're audible.
Audible.
right, right. So was that audible, Vibha ma'am?
Yes, it was audible. Yes.
Right, right. So if
Am
an
I
action,
audible?
yes, Meenu, you are.
So what I was saying is, no, I think you can continue, sir. I don't remember what.
So, so this attachment to the action, how can I understand that whether I'm attached to an action of mine or not? That's very clear-cut acid test that we can do. Whenever we start justifying our action or giving excuses about the action, it's an attachment coming in other term, other language coming out. So a rational action doesn't need any justification. A rational action will come instantly from the perception, and it will move on. It will move on. There will not be any pride of the action. There will not be remorse of the action. Because there is no attachment associated with that action. Are you able to comprehend this? This is very important to understand, all these agitations around which is going on currently world over. Maybe it's not very mass agitation, but there are agitation. And I happen to be attending a meeting also a couple of days back on this anti-vaccination mm, front and all. So uh, again, from action we cannot conclude, but then also uh, there were a lot of impulses that was being exhibited in that group where I attended that meeting. So now the question is that whether that action is right or wrong. Before that, whether the individual could get the freedom or not, that's the primary thing. So a revolution, when we are looking for a revolution, most of the time it's just external changes that we opt for and we crave for, we claim for, and we revolt for. But is there an internal change opted by that individual or not? That's the biggest question at that very moment. You know? Yeah,
Sir,
me know you. Yes, ma'am.
Im- impulsive action is an action coming from sensation.
Yes. From a belief system. And from a conclusion.
Yeah, because belief comes when there is some conclusion about something.
Yes.
So
Yes,
I
Vibha
want to
ma'am.
say something.
Ma'am.
So when you say we're hoping for or looking for a revolution, and it's only on a superficial level, as in there's no internal change that is happening.
Yes.
That's what you said.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
No, might be. I'm not commenting about any specific individual and concluding. But what I'm trying to propose here is, in general, the internal revolution is far more important than the external revolution. And external revolution will be a reflection of the internal revolution, not the other way. Yes.
internal revolution will be a reflection of the external revolution.
No, external revolution. When I change, the society change. If the society changes, there is no confirmation that I'll change. When I change, that's the internal revolution. The external revolution is reflected.
Yeah, but what you do in this situation when there's all kinds of enforcement that's happening, and which is not supportive of how you want to live, or even the freedom to be able to make certain choices, then
On the contrary, the freedom is not of choices, but from choices is the actual freedom. So what freedom are we talking about?
freedom to go out wherever I want to.
That's of choices. So if I can ask myself, can I stay without going out? The
No.
choice that I am picking up, the choice I'm picking up. So first I have to free myself from that choice. Then the tremendous energy will guide me to pick up a route.
Free
When there is
myself
no,
from the choice of being able to get out of my house.
yes, if that is so, can I ask myself that can I stay poised without going out of my house?
Can I stay what? What did
Poised.
you say?
Can I stay poised without going out? So that's the first and foremost internal revolution that one has to work on. You know, that I'm not disturbed if I'm not allowed to go out. I'm not disturbed at all if I'm not allowed to go out. See, think about that tremendous energy of that individual who is saying so. That is what that within prison also one can be free psychologically. So when that psychological freedom is attained, then action will emerge. There is no dearth of action in an energetic life. Are you able to come here? No. The other
What
day,
action can happen if that freedom does not
we don't know.
exist? For example, of not being able to go out. What action can happen?
We don't know.
I mean, even if one has saved the energy, then what can you?
See, lot of possibilities can be understood in this particular case. Suppose you are confined in your house, and around your house there are police people guarding you, restricting you to come out. If you come out, you will be shot dead. Suppose, and you are agitated in that state, and you break free yourself, quote unquote. You open the door and you went outside and got shot. Versus, you attained a psychological freedom that I am absolutely poised if I am not going out. The moment you are free, you will see a lot of things which were not being noticed earlier. Because of that tremendous energy that you achieve at that moment, that whatever imposition is restricting my choices to take on, I'm okay with. Because I have freed myself from choices whatsoever. Think about the possibilities. So, and after that, what the action will emerge out, that we cannot predict. We cannot give a checklist of that ever. But the possibility of the tremendous possibility of the energy that that individual attains when that individual is free from choices.
Maybe
So
the
it's not
Police
Uh,
people will get tired of guarding you and go away. Something like that.
Whatsoever,
Yeah.
yes, whatsoever. Maybe they will seek your guidance, that how you are so free mentally. Even though they are guarding you, they are also under someone's order. They are
Yeah.
also confined. So
Yeah.
they may seek your guidance, that how you achieve this. Yes, Minu, you were saying something. We have just less than 2 minutes. Yeah. We cannot hear you, Minu. Nandini, welcome, and goodbye also in a minute. I'm not sure. Nandini,
so
answer.
can I add one thing?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So it's not something metaphysical that we are talking about when we say that the energy, when the individual is supposed to.
Yes, yes, yes. Go on, please. It's not definitely metaphysical. It's very prominent that there will be a lot of release of energy. Hi, Nandini. Hi.
So hi, so I am there.
Yes, yes. Great. So a few seconds are left. Uh, you're not able to hear Minu's voice. Minu is unmute,
Can
but
you hear me now?
somewhat. You have to make it quickly.
Okay,
A
just that
few
the
seconds.
energy which is saved is allocated in all the different senses, and we can sense more.
Yes, yes. That's why the revelation will be more, and that
Yeah.
revelation will bring the possibilities of far more meaningful actions. Yes. With that, let's uh, let's conclude the session. A great connecting after a long period in this inquiry group. So bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.